Hey everybody, it's the Week in Review, in which me and other reviewers take a look at the reviews we put out last week. We give you short capsule reviews of what they are, so if you want to know more, you can go and check out the full reviews of those. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. This week I reviewed 3 games. I reviewed Flip a Bird, an unfortunately titled little card game that I think would be good nevertheless for kids, for families to play together with the kids. It's got very nice, clean artwork, and it's a neat little bluffing card game. I reviewed Royal Goods. This is a push your luck card game with quite a bit going on in it for a push your luck game. I think it's perhaps a little too complex for non-gamers and a little too lucky for gamers. So it's a bit of a strange beast. Nevertheless, I did enjoy the game. And lastly, Conquest at Kismet. This one is a 2-player head-to-head battle in space. It's got a nice set of mechanisms to it. The production quality is not great, but the fun of the game does make up for that. And I would recommend this one if you like 2-player games with a nice bite to them. So there you go. That was it for me this week. I'll see you next time.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm Force from Bowers Game Corner. This is my week in review. The first game I checked out was Animal Upon Animal. This is a delightful children/family game where you're going to be rolling a die and then stacking chunky wooden animal pieces on top of an alligator. Hopefully they don't topple over. Only real con I have with this game is that it's not a game night game. But if you play with kids or have kids, this is almost a must-own game. Next I checked out Pandemic Legacy. Me and my wife did a 2-player review of this. We were incredibly excited because we love Pandemic, and we were also incredibly disappointed. It was way too easy. It lacked any real sense of tension at all most of the time in a 2-player game. We walked through it. The ending was anticlimactic, and we were just really disappointed with this game. Now, the story is fantastic, and it kept us coming back, but we wanted more. We thought we were expecting this, and we got this. It's just good. Last but not least, I checked out Swish Jr. This is a quasi-matching game where you're going to set out transparent cards on the table and then try to match cards together that are going to complete a swoosh, aka they're going to fill in a picture. It's just okay. The kids in my classroom enjoyed it, but I was bored when I was playing it. Definitely not one I would search out for. This has been my week in review. If you enjoy what I do, check out this thing.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Last week I reviewed 10 games. Bloody Inn is a corpse killing and burying game using a combo building and engine building card game. I felt it was too constrictive and just the flow of the game never sat well with me. Floating Market is a game that's manipulating dice where you're trying to get fruit, and I feel like it's too lucky to be a strategic person's game and too strategic to be a lucky person's game, and it found itself in no man's land. Casting is a party game sort of like Unusual Suspects meets Dixit, where you're trying to predict which actors someone is representing. But in the end, unfortunately, I wanted to like this one, but there's just some problems or flaws with the game that I couldn't get over. Boomtown Bandits is a sort of shoot-'em-up Old West game where you're rolling dice fast and furious against people trying to knock them off locations that you're trying to rob and loot instead of them. Dice rolling crazy with some special powers. Some people are really going to like this one. OMG is essentially Uno with special abilities. Great for families that want to wean kids off Uno and give them a little bit more strategy. Catan is the 5th edition of the popular Settlers of Catan. I understand why it's so important in the gaming industry, and I'm so thankful that it did come out. But for me, in today's standards, it's barely average. Fuse is a new 10-minute style game where it's timed. There's an app. It's a little crazy. It's frantic. It's stressful where you're trying to fuse a certain amount of bombs cooperatively with your other players as fast as possible. Really fun game there. Baseball Highlights 2045. I reviewed 4 new starter teams and the 2 expansions, Errors and Big Flies. Both of those are awesome. Game of Trains. This essentially is Racco with special abilities. Really like this. Think of it in that no thanks category. Good for gamers, but easily accessible to anybody. Excellent game. And the best of the week, Sly Dice. You take Yahtzee, you mix it with poker, you mix it with Liar's Dice, and you throw in some special abilities in there. Oh, this game is a ton of fun. That's this past week.
Hey everybody, 3 games for review this week. The first one is Rome Rise to Power from Golden Egg Games. It's a little bit of a filler, but also very mentally taxing in a lot of ways. It's a dice worker placement. Plays quick, but it has a lot of meat there to chew on. The next one is Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game. Kind of a reimagining of the old Warhammer Quest dungeon crawl. but in card form, reminiscent of Lord of the Rings card game. But it's an awesome game, and it really evokes the theme and sort of feeling of the old Warhammer Quest game. Very brutal, very fun though. And the last one is Automobiles. Really love this game. It's a deck building, bag building game, but it's also a racing game. And you have these different card abilities that you get, and you pull cubes out of the bag to activate your cars. Really excels at the higher player count. We have a lot more interaction than you kind of typically do with a deck builder. So that's it. Thanks.
For me this week, I played Black Sheep, White Sheep, which is a 2 to 4 player abstract game which you move sheep like Chinese checkers, jumping over sheep of the same type, or landing on top of a sheep of a different type. It's kind of an interesting game, confusing rules, not very fun though. Dice Brewing, which is a game about making beer, except you're using dice to do that. You roll dice and use these dice to get different resources. You get the resources too slow, it's hard to mitigate low rolls, which just aren't as good as high rolls. It's okay. Trickerion, which is a in-depth game about magicians, illusionists. You go watch my review for that one. I did make a mistake in the review about the resources. You keep the resources forever. I did replay it correctly. My opinion still stands in the game. I still think the economic part isn't very fun, and the whole thing is just kind of meh for me. However, obviously a lot of people liked it because they downvoted my review so much. Undercity is a dungeon crawl with great plastic miniatures and okay terrain, but it looks really cool. It's a good dungeon crawl. Unfortunately, good is not good enough these days. There are many great ones out there. Caro is an abstract strategy game in which players are taking blocks and putting them down, the different color blocks, and where you put them gives you points. It's a very straightforward system, but it works. Very intriguing how you're trying not to set the next player up to score a lot of points in their turn. Fruit Mix is a memory game in which you are trying to match things that are not the same. If you like memory, you'll like it. If you don't, move on to Jackal High, which is a dice rolling game, which you're trying to roll dice, kind of a push your luck game, trying to put the right dice on the right cards. If you like push your luck rolling dice, you'll like it. If not, get Race for the North Pole. Race to the North Pole is a game in which you are racing to the North Pole. I guess that's what it's called. You're doing this by playing cards that move you around, take that cards, making someone else go back to start. It's okay. It's very, very, very light. And if you don't like that, okay, we'll stop doing that. Floating Market is a game in which players are going to be trying to get different fruit from a fruit market that's on boats, and you're going to be rolling a whole pile of dice each turn. The total sum of that dice determines which boat gives someone fruit. You are trying to affect that total sum of dice. It's good. It could be great, but there is a good chunk of luck in the game. Flashlights and Fireflies is a game about hide and seek for kids, trying to figure out where the other person is. They have some tiles in front of them, turn it over. For kids, this is an excellent game. Ghost Blitz, there's Ghost Blitz 1 and Ghost Blitz 2. Both of them are fun. You can actually combine them. They're great for kids because you turn a card over and it's a speed game, but there's a lot of thinking involved in it, and I really liked it because it was fun and a good educational tool. Spookies, one of the new family games from Haba, is about pushing your luck with dice. You roll dice, you see how far up in this mansion you can go. The fewer dice you roll, the harder it is, but the more points you get. The more dice, the fewer points, but it's easier to go up. So some good interaction there with the dice. Adventureland is another game from this Haba Family Games line in which I really liked, where you're moving people on a grid, trying to collect different resources to fight fog monsters. It's a very simple mechanism, but it was a lot of fun. There's 3 different ways to play scoring-wise. I am very much looking forward to when this one hits American shores early next year. And then finally, we played the first expansion for Time Stories, the Marcy case. This one is a completely different theme. The first one was horror. This one is more action-adventure. And in this one, which Sam liked it better than the first one, I and Z liked the Asylum better, but I did not dislike this one. I thought it was fun. Some cool things happened. In fact, once you played it, you can see a live playthrough we did of that last week. Okay, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching us. We'll see you next week for another Week in Review.